Dawson Rider Wiki.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with a review of the red and blue Psycho Ranger Legacy figures, as well as the white Dino Thunder Ranger from, well, Power Rangers Dino Thunder. What did you expect me to say? Hyperforce? But yeah, so these are some of the last Legacy figures we are getting ever because, you know, Hasbro's taking over the license. I believe the only other two that we will probably get eventually is Dino Thunder Yellow and Psycho Black. The Psycho girls have been canceled, so all we're getting for Psychos is potentially Black if we ever see it, these two guys right here, and then the exclusives, Psycho Green, which was Comic-Con. Actually, both Psycho Green and Silver were Comic-Con. I was thinking of Morphicon for some reason. But yeah, these are some of the last ones. Let's go ahead and dive in. So, it's interesting that these are our last waves, and that we're kind of in this weird relationship with Bandai, considering like a lot of people are just like, oh, let's wait for a Hasbro. But yet these Psycho Ranger figures are something fans have been wanting for a long time, even before the Legacy line was a glimmer in Bandai's eye. And honestly, the sculpt is fine. The sculpt is basically the same, you know, it's just a repaint of the ones I've already taken a look at. And I think they did a pretty good job at it. I think the details are okay on it. For some reason, maybe it was more on the other ones too, I didn't notice it, but the glossy paint feels weird on both of these to me. It almost felt... Mine almost feels almost sticky, like it feels cheaper, but it could just be me. But the cheaper feeling might just be me, but these definitely feel sticky. I don't know what that's about. But yeah, I think that the mold and details are okay. You do get the weapons for both of them, and both of them are painted. This one's super easy to paint. All you got to do is include this little red thing right there, so that's really not a big deal. But I think the details are on it okay. Okay. Proportion. Okay, let's do this review like a robot. But yeah, I think that's, you know, fine. The articulation is pretty much par for the course. You have the hinge joints here, all around motion, double elbow joint here, swiveling at the fists. You got a nice ball joint here, double knee joint, swiveling at the foot. You have this hinge joint here, which I'm not a fan of that type of joint, and good range of motion on the neck. The problem a lot of people have been having with these figures is loose joint problems. I do have loose joints on this one here at the hinge joint and for blue. I don't really have too many other prevalent ones. This one actually feels the best of the two Psychos, I mean. Blue's joints on this feel a little bit, not loose, but like they will become loose. Like they don't feel tight. These bits, though, are super loose. I've known other people that almost the whole thing is loose, or the legs are super loose, so lots of QC issues going on there. But look-wise, I think it's perfectly fine. You know, I still think it's neat we have these. I'll get into that near the end of the video. It's kind of a weird spot. Let's put both him and Drago Ranger in that generic, overused, badass, sewed over the shoulder perspective. I don't even know what kind of accent that was. It was like a hybrid. So here we got Psycho Blue here. Bam! Penny. I don't know why. I just felt like making a Bam Penny Boy Meets World reference. But the axe here, again, is painted. The silver paint's pretty nice. Did a pretty decent job at that. Articulation, again, is the same. I do have the same loose joint problems here. And as I mentioned, the joints on this one do feel a little bit more loose than they should. Again, not full-on floppy loose, but like they're on their way. Like they're on their way to Floppy Town. You know how it is. But again, same sculpt. You can see that just the color is different, but I think they did an okay job on it. Honestly, I think the Psychos, aside from the loose joint problems on these, I don't know, I didn't have any major ones that I recall with green and with silver, but I think look-wise, they're pretty solid, and it is cool to have them still. I will give them props for that. Now, okay, so as we get into White Dino Thunder, this is an interesting one for me because, spoiler alert, if I ever do, when I do a top 5 suits video, and if you've ever followed me around anything, you probably know that this is my favorite Ranger suit of all time. So I was super stoked when we were getting this. I was really glad, and still am, that we managed to squeak this out before Bandai, you know, left. And honestly, it's not perfect, but I'm happy with it in a lot of ways. I definitely think that we could be in for a better turn for Hasbro, but this isn't bad. I think that the proportions are mostly good. The head's a little fat, and it feels a little weird. I think it could just be more streamlined, a little bit more streamlined on the details as well, but I think it's pretty good. I think there's a little bit of a black paint scratch there. I thought it was a hair, but it's a black paint scratch. That happened to me 3 times now. I'm an idiot. But like, I think that the white color they used on it is a nice vibrant one. It contrasts with the black nicely, and I think that it mostly looks pretty good. Even on the back here, you're kind of missing some stuff, but it's not so bad. I kind of have the same problem with Blue, where he doesn't feel like floppy loose, but he feels like he's on the way. Like a few more times of picking up and posing this dude, and he's going to be on his way to Floppy Town as well, which I think is unfortunate. Also unfortunate is his White Drago sword, laser arrows not included, is not painted very well. It's very reminiscent of some of the Bandai America weapons and basic figures that are kind of not just a solid plastic piece, but just a couple different colors of plastic. And also, this peg hole here for his holster is too big for the belt. That's what, a lot of places are like that. No, but yeah, so that's kind of annoying. I know that that has happened to a couple other people I've heard of, and also I had a couple figures in the Legacy line that were like that, which was really weird. But again, I'm a little bit biased because, again, my favorite suit, I was excited to get an update for this figure. The last real figure we got for this guy was during Dino Thunder's run back in 2004 in the 5-inch line, which wasn't the greatest figure. And again, this isn't the greatest figure. It has a lot of problems. I know some people have had loose joint problems on this guy, like a ton. The paint could be better. The proportions could be better, all that. But I think that I'm happy with this as like a thing for now. Like, I don't know how long it would be before we got a Lightning Collection White Ranger figure for Dino Thunder. It could be a year, it could be 5 years. So I'm happy to have this for now. And that's where my recommendation gets kind of weird. I think on the whole, I would recommend waiting for the Lightning Collection. It's not too far off. We're going to be mixing waves. Who knows when we could get things. The Psychos are kind of weird though, just because we've wanted them for so long. So part of me wants to recommend picking them up just because it's such a rare thing to get Psycho figures. Same thing with other of your favorites. Like, this is my favorite, and who knows when they would come out with it. So I think my ultimate recommendation is if you can find a good sale, like a sale price for it, and you want something at least temporarily while we wait for the Lightning Collection, I can recommend it then. But otherwise, I would probably just overall wait. Even though I don't absolutely hate these figures, I know that this line has been notorious with some other people for having extremely loose joints and a ton of QC problems, which just really sucks. So unless you really, really want something temporarily or whatever, like I said, then I definitely recommend waiting. And it's kind of a shame because these are some of the coolest figures, I think, in concept that they were going to release. But yeah, and as far as where you can find them, I found these guys at Walgreens. I know that some people pre-ordered the Entertainment Earth ones. There's more for them as well for like later waves. GameStop has them for pre-order for like a February release, I want to say. Don't quote me on that. Put it on a t-shirt. February release, Dawson Rider, question mark, 2018. And then, like I said, Walgreens has been getting these, so keep an eye out for that if you are interested in them. But anyway, until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to climb the steps and ring that bell to get notifications from my videos. Until next time, Dawson Rider, signing out. I almost forgot to mention, guys, we've got this piece that comes with the White Ranger. Now we can finally form the Megazord. 1, 2, 3, wait.